A supplier must provide X gallons of hydrochloric acid and Y gallons of sulfuric acid each week. The total amount of acid must be at least 40 gallons. Given only the preceding constraints and the fact that neither X nor Y can be negative, graph the possible values of X and Y. Okay, so what does this tell us? This tells us we have X plus Y, right? That's what we know. And we know that these two must be at least, so I'm going to insert in here, at least 40. Okay, so I could be 45 or 50, but I couldn't be 30. I have to produce at least 40. So this is my equation, just that my total of what I'm producing of these two types of acid has to be at least 40 gallons or higher. I want to graph this. I want to graph this inequality. So if I'm going to graph an inequality, I'm going to rewrite it into slope-intercept. So in this case, just because it's easier to do it that way, do it lots of different ways. So I'm going to do y, and then I'm going to do negative x plus 40. So this is the same equation. All I've done is I've subtracted x from both sides. So it's in slope-intercept. Because I like to graph in slope-intercept. You don't necessarily have to. You could do this a couple ways. This tells you it's got to be. So when I derive this graph, here's my x and here's my y. Notice this is 0, 0. I'm only looking at the positive because obviously I'm not making negative gallons of acid. You can do this two ways. You could do this by the intercepts. So you could go back and figure out what the two intercepts are. They're actually pretty easy. They're 0, 40, and 40, 0. Either you produce all hydrochloric or all sulfuric acid. That's really your things. I can also do it this way. So if I come do this way, I can see here that I would also start at 40. So I'm going to graph by 10. So this is 10, 20, 30, 40. And I would start here, and I'd have to go over 1 and down 1. Which makes sense because I'm going to also write there. So I can see I can connect my two. And these are not going to keep going off because I can't be negative, right? It's just going to go here. Now I have to decide, though, because I am doing an inequality, which side am I shading? Well, if I put 0, 0, which is the point right here on this side in there, or 10, 10, I don't get enough, do I? So it has to be on this side, which is actually pretty easy if you start thinking about it. This is where I've got to be. I have to be on this side of it somewhere. So you can see here, I could produce, if I came out here, 20 and 40 for 60 gallons. I can produce anything on the line which is going to be exactly 40. So like 20 and 20 right there. And this is a solid line because I could be just at 40, but I might also want to produce more and then be out in my green area. So hopefully this helps you. This is one where I rewrote it in slope-intercept because we could have easily done it that way too, but the intercepts are actually a pretty easy and quick way to graph this one.